as an economic system, it's fascinating. Due to the engineering of goods to fail within a certain time period, you basically have an economic system based on failure. Because every time something fails, money moves. Today, for instance, the battery of the car failed unexpectedly, and it immediately opens up a whole line of consequence in terms of money that must be spent to get the vehicle back on the road, which was obviously not expected. The failure is very much in line with the time frame of engineered failure, but obviously until it fails you don't have that exact point, because human engineering isn't exact, it is approximate. How many of these things operate like this? Laptops, computers, fridges, kitchen equipment, aeroplanes, you name it. Every single thing that is made as a machine or a system that requires human engineering has been engineered to fit into the capitalistic system of failure. And obviously, with a starting point like that, one of failure, and to make money through failure, you can imagine what happened to the human nature through that. Human nature then become one where failure is accepted. Again, the result of the born in sin syndrome that's been promoted by religions, so that mankind see themselves, due to human nature, as unable to perfect themselves and stuck forevermore, or as a dysfunctional system in a consciousness reality. Fascinating, because all of this is based on energy, and the moment the energy movement fails, the system fails. Like today, the battery fails, which was where energy was stored. In spite of the engine generating energy, the type of energy the engine has been generating could no longer be stored, and therefore the system could no longer ignite to start again once it was stopped, because there was no energy. Virtually the same as what happened with heaven and earth when we stopped the energy transfer from earth to heaven, where it was used for engineering heaven. Massive changes happened in heaven, and as heaven was linked to the mind system, mind consciousness system, it was very easy to invert it, because it used mirrors, smoke and mirrors, so that one ended up looking into the future, but it's only a mirror. Everyone that's here is a psychic, as a channeler, as a remote viewer, you name it. You don't even know it, and you can't get past it, because every angle that you could ever look at has been inverted in a mirror effect. You are seeing only your own consciousness, which is in your pre-programmed design, so that you can deal with your self-deception. And this will escalate until the system fails. And once the system fails, you're going to try and reignite it, but continuously the power source, which is the energy, is being diminished, and you get weaker and weaker. Eventually you can't start the system, and only then the possibility of self-honesty arises, the possibility of realizing that energy, light, all these things you believed so religiously were not real. They were just systems, and that you do not in fact actually even exist anymore. You have lost yourself completely to systems. A serious condition from a certain perspective, but from the perspective of the universe, really irrelevant, because you are really irrelevant from the bigger picture. You seem to be very important in your own life, but even that is not your life. You are just part, character in a system. So I suggest to start looking at the Destiny Eye process so you can learn how to break character. You're going to have to break character, because if you don't break character, you're going to be stuck in the system until death, and then no one can help you. So don't wait. You're going to have to break character, and that's going to be a very tough thing. It's going to take many years to break character. And to rebuild your character to something that is trustworthy, something that honor life, something that stand one and equal here as love thy neighbor and give what you would want to receive. Within this context, to end the failure of the system, so that the system in itself becomes similar to what the earth is. The earth never fail. It simply moves. And no matter what the onslaught of man, the earth is still here. It is far beyond the time of man. So if we work together, we can have an interesting experience, and after that plan at looking at the universe properly, without having to engineer failure the whole time and end up failing. Because it's through the failing that we end up losing faith in ourselves. And that's certainly not necessary. Because the only faith that is necessary is faith in yourself, that you are in fact self-honest, because that's the only faith that is real. Faith in yourself that you are capable of realizing it when you have made a mistake, and thus self-forgive. Faith in yourself that you will give to another what you would like to receive, and faith in yourself that you are in fact loving your neighbor and all living things, and faith in yourself that you can be trusted with life. That's real faith. You are religiously moving within that context of faith. Faith, in fact, is real, beneficial, and will never fail you. Any other form of faith will always fail you, because it's not based on reality, it's based on illusion. So within this context, you can very clearly see what is reality and what is illusion, and how much of the world is currently existing in illusion. It's virtually everyone. That's rather sad, but again, as in all things, faith of illusion will fail you. The faith of equality will stand by you forevermore. That is eternal faith, breath by breath, no matter what. So join us at Destiny so you can get educated properly. Come on. Can't get clearer than this.